on this day here. So today we're going to talk about connecting the points. We're going to talk about, for a brief moment, Ada. And when I say connecting the points, we're going to talk about how does that relate to Freemasonry in the Order of the Eastern Star. Just going to give a few more minutes, maybe some more brothers of the craft, sisters of the order may join us, but this is going to be our conversation today. We're going to talk about connecting the points in the craft. You know, connecting the points. What does that like when I say connecting the points? And that's going to be our topic for today. So please, if you can, hit me up in the chat if you got any questions as we get through this today. First, I want to bid a greetings to everyone who's coming on. It's a bit cloudy here in San Diego, but yeah, it feels beautiful out here, man. It's not too muggy. It's not too like overcast, but it feels great. It feels great. What's going on? How's it going? So we're gonna get right into this real quick. Like I said, today's topic is called connecting the points, the Order of the Eastern Star. So this is what we're going to talk about. And I guarantee you're going to have an aha moment. You're going to have that moment to where you're going to be like, wow, really? Is this how it's done? Is this what we're missing? And just some of the points on the star. I would say that if you are an Eastern Star, you know that Ada, you know her story. You know, her father went off to war, and her father made a promise that he would sacrifice the first thing that he sees coming out of his home when he comes back to battle if he's victorious. And we know in the Eastern Star writings that Ada met her father with a tambourine, and she was singing, and she was joyous that her father had come back and he was victorious in his battle. But usually during that time, they would see a goat, they would see chicken, they would see some other things before they get to that destination of someone coming out of their house. But this time, his daughter came out of the home. And in the process of this coming out of the home, he was sad because he had made a God that he would make the sacrifice of the first thing that was coming out of his home, and it was his daughter. Well, his daughter said, okay, you know what? You made this promise to God, so here's what I'll do. I'm going to help you out, Dad. So I'm going to go into the 30 days, me and my friends, and we're going to, I got these last 30 days so you can make this sacrifice, so you can honor your word to God. Honor your word to God. That's what she told him. And she was like, okay, so they went in. But you got to remember now, the back end of that story, if you are a Mason in a second degree, was that there was a war going on. It was Jonathan War. Can't even think of his name. It's in the 9th Judges. I want to say Jonathan or Joppa, something like that. I'm messing all the name up, but you can go read it for yourself. Now, in this war that they had, there was a word that you had to be able to pronounce in order to cross over the river, okay, to the other side. And this is how they was able to distinguish who was in, who they was fighting against, because they could not pronounce the word. Now, if you are a Master Mason or you're in a fellow degree, you should know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the same story that connects to the degree point in the Order of the Eastern Star. Deals with Ada. They connect because her father went off to war, and the word that he had that would separate his men from those who they was fighting against, because they couldn't pronounce the word, it was off with their heads. It was off with their heads. And so when he gets back, her thing is the sacrifice that she had to make, because he gave his word. Now, here's the thing is that because of the sacrifice, and when he went ready to sacrifice her upon the altar after her 30 days with her friends in the mountains, the question you have to ask, did that sacrifice actually take place? That's one of the questions you have to ask yourself. Did that sacrifice actually take place? And what was she doing while upon the altar to be sacrificed? Greeting, what's going on? Hey man, what's happening with you, bro? I was just looking at my picture and your picture from 2000 and I think 16. I think that's 2016 when you was here in San Diego, bro. It's good to see you pop up. So when I seen that, I was like, well, okay, that's one of the dots that are connected. That our second degree is connected to their. Let me see. Ooh, Ada. I want to say the third point or fourth point. I want to say the fourth point. Somebody can correct me, but I want to say her point, Ada point, is the fourth point, if I'm not mistaken. But if I am, you can definitely correct me on that. But that point in that degree on the OES side is connected to our fellowcraft degree on for us, and our password is connected on that degree work because of how they had to distinguish themselves by the word they had to use in order to travel or to get or to go across the river of Joppa. But there's something special about the river of Joppa, and I'm going to talk about that in my next live broadcast. But right now, as we get into this particular one, we need to understand the connection of the points when it comes to the Freemasons and the Order of the Eastern Star. And this is just one of the connections you should definitely really take a look at, and so it can give you a better understanding of that point in that degree work. If you are a fellowcraft or a master mason, please take a look at that point. That point in your degree work. If you're an Eastern Star, please take a look at that point because it connects you to the brotherhood through Sister Ada. It really does. And this is why it's uniquely understood that the brothers of the Christ should surely become Eastern Stars so they can understand that interconnection that you have. And as much as I've talked about the compass and square being hidden within the star, you'll give you a better understanding of that also. So when you're able to go in and you break that down, you can say, okay, so this point connects to this degree. And the reason being that point connects is because of these things that transpire. Now we know within this particular point of Ada, her color is blue. She was sacrificed, supposedly, up on the altar. But a couple of things happened while she was there. And I want you to go back, if you're a sister of the order, and check out the things that happened while she was on the altar. And the brothers, you check that out too. And let me tell you why. Because you're going to understand there's a sign that was given within her point during that sacrifice that connects right back to our degree work. It all goes back to our degree work. But we don't engage in that because a lot of us feel that it's not something you want to talk about. But it's such a beautiful work, the Order of the Eastern Star, and how it complements Freemasonry. I'll say this: the Order of the Eastern Star were being here in the United States is for the sisterhood of the family. However, the Order of the Eastern Star came out of Freemasonry over in France. That's a fact. And I say that because when Robert Morris, what's his name? Robert Morris, is that the guy who brought it, that developed the Eastern Star work? Well, he was visiting in France and he's seen the sisters or the ladies over in France. They were Masons. So when he came back over here, he brought some of that degree work over here and developed the Order of the Eastern Star out of that degree work he's seen over in France. This is why in the United States, only in the United States, it says that only a man can be a Mason. Although we know that many other jurisdictions has adopted that same rule, but that wasn't always so. This is how the Freemasons and the women Freemasons have always connected. They have always been there. They have always been there since day one. Why was they inspired by Moore in France? To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know if they were inspired by Moore in France or not. I can only say based on the information I have at my disposal right now, I can clearly say that the workings of the Eastern Star is based off of Freemasonry over in France and brought back over here and developed in that construct. But I would tell you this: the colors of the Order of the Eastern Star is so significant. It would make you think that it has something to do maybe with the Moors, but I would say it has something more to do with understanding your inner being. And when I say understanding your inner being, I'm always talking about the chakras. So those colors go in direct correlate directly with the colors of the chakras. Each one of them, each one of them, and each one of them has a particular value to them. And when you break down that point and what it means, and the whole thing, man, it'd have you shaking your head. It really would. And if you're thinking about the stars, you're thinking about navigation. Maybe that's how you're bringing in the more thing. But I would clearly say that when I think of the Eastern Star and what they bring to the table, although here in the United States it says that you can't, that the Grand Lodges are responsible for developing the Order of the Eastern Star, which is true here in this country. However, I would say that once that happens and you're part of a chapter, please do your due diligence and look at the points and what they truly means and how it's all connected. It is such a beautiful work that you wouldn't believe. And it got me excited only because when I became a patron, I believed I believe that if I'm going to call you my sister, what is the connection? I'm an Eastern Star. Just because you're an Eastern Star, you're my sister. But what is truly the connection? So that was my driving force in learning that you had to be a sister, a daughter, a wife. You had greetings. What's going on, John? That had to be all brought in order to be an Eastern Star. But as time went on, there was what you call, oh, I'm going to adopt you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Things began to change a little bit. But if you go back to the true essence of the Order of the Eastern Star, it's all in-house. It's all family. You know, there was no outsiders invited to the Order of the Eastern Star. You had to be family. You know, some type of way, shape, or form. I'm not talking about, well, she my mama's whatever, you know what I mean. It had to be family. So when you begin to look at it from that point of view, and look at how the points are connected to every degree within the Eastern Star, within the Freemasons, this is why you'll know that 5 degrees and you only get 3. And I would dare any brother to have that discussion with me as far as the Sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star and the Freemasons. Because we all know right now, if you have learned, if you have went and done your own research, read for yourself, you know as well as I know, each one of those points is a degree. Each one has its own password. Each one has its own sign. Each one has its own symbol or emblem. We know these things. And if this is true, how is it that the Freemasons are so directly connected within that? Because each of the degrees hold a password within Freemasonry. Each one of those degrees. If you go read Ruth, you'll find out the password in a Masonic... Oh man, I'm giving away too much. But if you go read Ruth, you'll find out that it connects to your first degree, brothers. It does. Ruth directly connects to your first degree. Everything, including its initiation. That point on that star. And look at the color of that point on that star. It's all connected, and you can be like, damn, that is the excitement that I get out of it. That's what I get. That's the joy. I'm like, wow, that is so interesting. And then when you begin to break it down, you'll understand that the society itself holds many secrets, many. And the only way you're going to find out is to go and break it down, to do your own research within it. Somebody else telling you, oh, this and that, it's cool, it's great, but when you get it for yourself, when you break it down for yourself and get it, man, that's a beautiful thing. And nobody can come and take it away from you or try to trick you and say, that's not what it is. Oh, that's what it is, bro. That's what it is. Now, if they got other information to add to that, then that's different. But when you begin to directly connect each point to the 3 degrees in Freemasonry in their passwords, in their signs, it's over. It's over. This is why this particular video is called Connecting the Points. How many of you have considered looking at that? Hit me up in the chat. I need to see. It's 17 that are on live right now. I need to know how many of you considered looking into the points and understanding how they connect. I mean, really and truly. Because to me, this didn't come overnight. It's just like, wow, no. It took me some time as I grew into Freemasonry and began to indulge in its symbolism that I was able to come to this conclusion for myself. And then that's when I was like, okay, this is what's actually taking place. Not this, but this. They're not separate, but they're joined together. And that's the beauty. The Eastern Star and Freemasons are not separate. They're actually joined together. Not an OES and still have no intentions. Come on, man. Hey, bruh, you gotta go get it. Brother Lewis, look, you gotta go get it, man. You got to. Priest Brother Jones, been watching you the last couple of days. I appreciate that. But Brother Lewis, you gotta go get it. Let me tell you why you gotta go get it, Brother Lewis. It's gonna give you another perspective as far as the connection. You know, a lot of us can talk about being a Mason and an Eastern Star, but do you know the connection? Do you know that the signs in the Eastern Star is directly connected to the signs in the Freemasons? Do you know that the passwords in the Eastern Star are directly connected to the passwords in Freemasonry? That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm trying to get at. But, you know, if you don't want it, don't go get it. Bruh, I'm just saying, you know, that to me is a beautiful piece for me to have that understanding of that, and then to be able to talk to a sister in regards to her degree work and what she's looking at and getting her perspective on her degree work, which would enlighten me on my first 3 degrees. If a sister's really down into her degree work as an Eastern Star, she can definitely help a brother out on his degree work. There's no doubt about it. Say what you want to say, do what you want to do, but I'll tell you, if a sister's really into her degree work and she's having a conversation with the brother Master Mason, she can definitely enlighten him. She can do it. Going in deep, gotta get more knowledge. You know, I'm just saying that. Good afternoon. I'm just saying when you break this down, it's beautiful. I have my OES degree. It's a beautiful thing, and the sisters really appreciate it when I put in the work. Oh yeah, dude. There's nothing like it. Although it took me some time to really see it and get it after I came into the Order of the Eastern Star, and I was just sitting there as a patron. I knew some of the works, and it was all good. Not yet. I would look into it now. I was mentioned by my members. Just received it last week. All right. So as I was a patron in the chapter, my first go round, I just sit there and I listen to the sisters do their work and go on and blah, blah, blah. But then, you know, a while I was like, I wonder how is this connected? And for me thinking about how it was connected and then actually going in and looking at it, brought it all together. And when that came all together, I was like, I can work with this. This is why the system is the way it is. It just gave me another avenue to look at. It gave me another way of appreciating the society of Freemasonry and the Order of the Eastern Star. Greetings, and how's it going, brother? I appreciate you tuning in. So this is where we're at, and it's a beautiful thing. Also, just want to let you know on April next year, April the 22nd of next year, I'm going to be honored by the African Goodwill. They're going to be honoring myself and my wife, and I just want to send them a big shout out. African Goodwill is an organization that connects Africa villages with families here in the United States, and my wife, as you know, have been adopted by the Igbo tribe over in Africa, over on the continent, and we're going to be indoctrinated, such a word. We're going to be brought into their village and celebrated as one of their own, and I can't wait. And this is going to be next year, so I'll keep you abreast on that. But definitely, definitely, I'm telling you, it's amazing. Look, so as always, my time is at hand. I took my little break here. Just want to come and fellowship with you. Uh, hey, my grand session is coming up. I'm pretty stoked about it. And I would tell any Mason, if you ever going to be excited about anything, be excited about going to your grand session, because at your grand session, that's where you're supposed to get a lot of information from. To me, that somebody trying to call me and I'm not having it right now. I'm declining. But yeah, definitely. So get to your grand session. You definitely enjoy it. You definitely enjoy it. Have a ball. So look, I thank you for tuning in. I'm about to go now. So definitely, when you have an opportunity, connect those points, and man, you will be amazed. Definitely. We had our sovereign session in July in Chattanooga. It was great. That's what I'm talking about. Get out, support your jurisdiction, man. Sisters, get out and support your jurisdiction. The original star was 7 points, angle with the chakra system. You are correct. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, but that's the beauty of it all, bro. When you're able to break that thing down and see it, it's a wrap. And when you look at the stars, two triangles, one right side up and one upside down. When you look at the star, and it gives you all those points, two triangles upside down. Think about that for a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think that gives you a 6-pointed star, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I'm going to go. I appreciate you coming in, and thank you very much. Have a blessed and great day. Peace.